Okay, we'll see. It's it's a little stormy out there. It's a little rainy. I don't know if y'all can hear it on the car, but we're gonna see if it'll let us. We're gonna see if it'll let us stream. Sorry, I was trying to get some AC on. We'll see if it lets us stream, and if so, how long. But I just didn't want to be in the house. I've been in the house all day. Sunday's technically my day off, where I don't have to like do any YouTube work or whatever. But I've been in the house all day watching. I was playing video games, and then I was watching people play video games. And I was like, man, I just kind of want to. Alasoba, how you doing? Nika, good to see you. I said, I just kind of want to, get out the house. And as soon as I said that, ladies and gentlemen, nice to see you too. As soon as I was like, I'm gonna go somewhere. I noticed like it was kind of dark outside, and then like it started raining. Then, I'm looking out the window. It starts raining. So I look out the window. I'm like, oh, it's not raining that bad, right? I keep looking out the window because I'm staring out the window trying to decide where I want to go. I keep looking out the window, and I notice that the rain is starting to get a little thick. I noticed that the rain is starting to get a little chunky. You know what I mean? And I'm like, what's going on? Long story short, ladies and gentlemen, it started hailing. Now, some of y'all don't know what that is because y'all never seen it. Hail, it's little hailstones. Start falling from the sky. It's like chunks of ice falling from the sky. It's the craziest thing. Normally I wouldn't care, but I got a car now. And so when I was growing up, my sister had a car that had bad hail damage. She bought it like that. She got a great deal on it because of that. So I'm always scared that like I'm gonna be in a major hailstorm. It's gonna ruin my car now that I have a car. So I was freaking out. I was like, there is a garage on my Airbnb, but like it's not part of the listing. Like I can park in the driveway. It doesn't say I can pull my car in the garage. But if it had got worse, I was low-key about to pull my car in that garage. But I went and looked out front, and it was kind of mushy. So like it was hailing, but it wasn't that rock hard hail. As it was coming down, I could notice it was kind of mushy. So, and it only lasted like literally 2 minutes. And then it went back to raining, and then like the rain stopped. But that's just one of the Montana things. And I suppose it happens other places too. But that almost never happened down south. We didn't get hailstorms on a regular basis in Florida. I know that. So that was one of the things when I first came to this part of the country that freaked me out. First time, I'm like, what is this falling from the sky? Like, yeah, and it'll just come and go, and I don't know. A little funny story. Let's see how everybody's doing. Alejandro, how you doing? How you doing, Britton? Might be the best live. Yeah, hey, you never know. Dayton, Ohio in the building. Dr. Stanley. I mean, the rain's cool too. Yeah, when I have to be out in it, it sucks, So Yusuf said, hey Tim, your YouTube page is really motivating for me in life. Hey, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. That's amazing. Glad to hear that. Logical, I do not fish, no. Montana's amazing, man. It was pretty smoky earlier this month. We've been kind of having enough rain and moisture to kind of keep the smoke down. It comes back a little, but then it goes away again. So it's been pretty good, man. Montana's a vibe, man. I've been telling people since 2015 to come to Montana. Almost no one listens to me, but the people who do, almost to a woman, to a man, have enjoyed it, have appreciated it. So, yeah, I can't complain. Tyrone, just think of him and he appears. Just think of him and he appears. Let's go. Montana is getting more diverse. It is getting more diverse. I gotta say, my Hispanic and Latino brothers and sisters are showing up heavy. That's why it's getting diverse. It ain't us. We not here. Even though the other day, this is crazy, I saw 2 black people at the same time and they weren't together. There was a black dude over here and a black dude over there, like walking. One was like walking, like one was riding a bike or something. And I was like, wait a second. two black people at the same time. They not together. I see you, Montana. I see you. So yeah, we're slowly trickling in, but yeah, my Hispanic and Latino brothers and sisters are making it pretty diverse up here, and I appreciate that. Not that, you know what I mean, not that it was an issue before, but you know, diversity's cool, you know. And I know a lot of I guess there's not a politically correct way to say it. I talk to a lot of white people. They be like, yeah, it could be a lot more diverse. You know what I mean? I think everybody likes diversity. Everybody likes it different, unless you're just like one of them people, you know? But like, you know, a lot of people will be like, you know, we'd like it to be more diverse too. Y'all just ain't coming. This is totally a sidebar rant. But we can't sit around and talk about diversity if we're not willing to go places and make them diverse. Diverse. They don't want to talk about that, Tim. You talking too much. It's only been 6 minutes and 13 seconds. You talking too much truth. We can't sit around and talk about lack of diversity in places if we're not willing to go and make the diversity. Be the change you want to see. Preach, tabernacle, church. I just woke up from a nap. So, oh, they actually caught somebody setting wildfires? Oh, wow, that's crazy. Well, I'm glad they caught him. Hollis the hobo, him and wifey went to Montana suggesting. Yep. Simony, you know I'm a hard person to get a hold of hobo, you know. Emily, y'all got rain? You like rain, not hail? Yeah, hail is a different animal. I got a little lemonade iced tea here. I'm gonna crack open. Keep the juices flowing. Yeah, hail's a different animal, you know, because it can get messy, you know. So yeah, I'm always glad when it's light hail and goes away. Got wings at the Winco? Oh, okay. Let's go. Russell, how you doing? Day late, what up? When you feel worse after your nap, ooh, that's rough. I don't. What causes that? You go to sleep, you get some rest, you feel worse. You should have stayed up. Like that's rough. You might need to see a professional. On that one. Turn my lights off. John, I got a car. Yeah, I got a car 2-3 months ago. Yeah, I was walking one day and I was like, it's time. You know, a lot of times when I most of the time these days when I don't have a car, it's because I don't want a car. And I kind of enjoy the not having a car. But yeah, when it's time to, and that's what I said from the beginning. When people are like, when you get another car? I was like, when it's time to, I'll know. And I was walking one day and I was like, I'm good. And I literally, I think I might have already been like browsing, you know, from time to time I'd browse and look at cars. And I think I had saw this car. And I went back, it was still available. Within a couple days I had it, you know. So yeah, did I pay too much for it? Yes. But if you go by Kelly Blue Book and at the end of the day, I think it'll be exactly what I want. And if it turns out to be the good car that I know it's gonna be, I'm fine with what I paid for it. But yeah, I'm kind of like that. When it's time, when it's go time, it's go time. And I ain't trying to sit there and, you know, haggle. And maybe I should, but I was just like, whatever, you know. Let's go. John, I'm not saying what kind of car it is, just for, you know, it's the internet. So I said this time around, I'm really, you know, the last time I told people and I showed my car and all this stuff. This time I'm good. Respectfully, yeah, just not something I feel the need to share with everybody. Hey, Reeser, 3 weeks sober. Congratulations. That is awesome. That is love. Been binge watching sobriety videos every morning. Yes, let's go. I'm glad to hear that. Awesome. Nigga got sober too, had to? Yeah. I've been there with the blackouts. Them blackouts ain't no joke. Once you get there, yeah, it's probably time to think about total sobriety. Definitely be cutting back because yeah, them blackouts is no joke. Hey Chad, thank you, Super Chat Squad, thank you so much, Chad. Let me give you a like on that. Says so long as they keep putting good movies out, I don't care what happens, I'm good. hey, I'm just happy you think they're still good movies. I'm glad to hear that they got movies out there that are good to you. You know, because that's I don't know. Like, I'm not saying there aren't good movies. I just feel like there was a lot more good movies in the past, but I could just have on like my rose-colored 80s and 90s glasses. But I'm glad you're finding good movies. And thank you so much, Chad, for the continued support. Thank you. And I have not forgot about your suggestion about the positivity series. I've really been thinking on it. Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think back. I may have to go back and start. Like, I'm trying to think back to like what my process was. But it's been a process over, many years. So I'm trying to think back, like, if I was to look at my process from being what my mom used to call a negatron to being, toxically positive now, as people say. What were the key things I would mention? So it's kind of got, it's got me thinking, Finding time to exercise if you work a lot. Ooh, I don't know if I'm the one to answer that one, Bald Eagle, because I don't really exercise. I typically exercise at work because I be, so yeah, I'm not really a go to a gym exercise person, so I don't think I'd be the best person to answer that. Tyler, I'm amazing today. How are you? When I'm coming to Colorado, I'm sure I'll be back up that way sometime soon, John. You know me. I have to come back to Denver, come back to the city. Kathy, I'm good. Glad you're catching the streams. Yeah, we here. I'm just, you hear a lot of people say, Emily, you hear a lot of people say like movies ain't what they used to be. So I'm glad that like somebody's like, man, these movies is good. these straight to Hulu movies are amazing. I don't, do movies go straight to Hulu? I don't know. I tell you, I watch people play video games all day. That's what I do. Positive vibrations. Let's go, Martin. With Sirio. Said, hi, Timothy. I follow your videos here in Brazil. Brazil in the building. And admire your lifestyle. I'll be retiring soon and setting off to travel across the country too, sharing the journey along the way. Let's go. That's amazing. Enjoy your retirement. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the documentation. You know me. I think that's a big part of the journey. If you're that type of person, is getting to document it and share it with other people, and then also like look back at it in future. So yeah, that's awesome. Enjoy your retirement. John, you working on a novel? Okay, I ain't mad at that. Good. Hollywood has taken some risk, and the movies have improved since 2023, and not following the safe blueprint anymore. Okay. Glad to hear that. Like I said, I'm probably good for one, or I think I know I bought 2 movies this year. Predator Badlands, that might have been last year. I think that was this year. And Project Hail Mary. Because all the reactors that I like to watch were reacting to those movies, and I was like, man, I gotta watch them so I can. And Alien and Romulus, but I think that came out previously. But somebody reacted to it, and I was like, "Oh, a new Alien movie?" I hadn't seen it, so there's been a few movies here in the past 6 months or so I checked out, and yeah, they were good. Man, I feel like we're all living in our own movie, right? I feel like we're all living in our own movie. I think it's just a matter of like how exciting is the movie. That's. What was that quote? They're like, if your life was a movie, would anybody watch it? So I think we're all living our own movie. Hey, yeah. We didn't have any coffee today. Did not have any coffee today. I'm not sure if this has any caffeine in it. I didn't even check. They were 2 for $3, so I got one. But yeah, no coffee today. I can tell by the headache. But hey, we're cutting back. I haven't set my morning routine yet. I need to get one. It's hard for me when I'm not working because I have no reason to get up at any set time typically. And so I'll find myself like getting up whenever I want. Like it's a lot easier when, like, if I have to be up at 8 o'clock, I know if I get up at 7, I can meditate and read. And so I got to figure something out along those lines. Yeah, because I haven't set a morning routine yet. But when I do have a good morning routine going, it usually involves reading, meditating, or journaling. Usually 2 out of the 3. Yeah, Project Hail Mary was a great movie. You know what's crazy? Project Hail Mary was a good movie. I watch a lot of people react to it. Once they get to the part where like him and Rocky meet for the first time, I stop watching the reaction. Like the first hour and a half of the movie is great. The second hour and a half, it was cool to watch it the first time. But, you know, once it gets all feely and emotional, I'm good on that part. Exactly, Kathy. You know, we gratitude. Gratitude is so powerful, you know? And that's why it continues to be a part of the message I share on this channel here, because I know it can be life-changing. You know, I think a lot of people just don't realize it. A lot of people really think that like affirmations and positive thinking is like woo hippie talk, and it's just something people say to sell courses or whatever. I don't know. But the stuff actually works. You know what I mean? Like it actually works. And you're welcome. Does Montana have affordable places with less brutal winters? Both together? Probably not. You know, to get to the affordable places, you probably going more out of the cities, and the winters probably gonna be rougher the further out in the sticks you go. Just because of roads and things like that. So places where I won't be isolated. I mean, Montana's got cities like everywhere. You know, yeah, I think isolation just kind of depends on whether or not you find your people. So I think any place you go, you could feel isolated or not feel isolated. You know, if there's human beings around, you could find some people and not feel isolated. But yeah, as far as affordability, not the most affordable state, I'll be honest. And like I said, you kind of have to go further out, away from the big cities, out into the sticks to get the affordability these days. But it's a little pricier sometimes than I wish it was, but I can understand why people are willing to, like, if they say like there's a lot of wealthy people moving into Montana, causing the prices to go up. I understand why they're moving here. If I was rich, I would definitely live here, or one of my houses would be here. I'm not rich and I live here. You know, I'm like, nah, I like it here. You know what I mean? So like, I get why the money's coming in. And so that's why I'm like, hey, if you can figure out a way to live here without having to be rich, it's really cool. Hey, no problem, you. I think I've seen Dune Part 1, I think I saw parts of Part 1. Yeah. Yeah, Kathy, it's hard, yeah, to create routine consistently when you don't have to, you know? Unless you're just one of those people who that just comes naturally and easily to you. It doesn't for me. And I'll get it, but yeah, it usually, because there's been times when I wasn't working before. It just kind of takes time. You know what I mean? Like I have to get somewhere, be settled, and then kind of, for me, I think I have to get comfortable with the routine, and that takes time. Haley, how you doing? Yes, I've seen Into the Wild. Yeah, I mean that's a classic. I feel like anytime you start talking about doing something different, especially if it involves travel, they like watch Into the Wild. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's a classic. That's a classic. It's about to get hot in here. I'll take this off. I have not seen the Spider-Verse. No, I probably won't. Yeah, yeah. Into the Wild, I think, is a good movie to. Yeah, I think it's a good movie in general. And I also think it's a good movie to see that sometimes the outcome of following your dreams may not always be the one you think it's gonna be. But what is it? Chris McCandless. I think his story in general is a good one. That like maybe his story was cut short way sooner than he thought, but he's inspired millions of people. So I look at it that way. But yeah, yeah, good movie, good movie. I think they said, did they finally get rid of the bus? And I think the bus that was there wasn't the original bus, but they finally got rid of even the new one, I think, up there. Scream. Yeah, I mean, yes. Prices are going up. And we have to be realistic about things like that. I know for me personally, I try not to dwell on it too much because nothing good comes from dwelling on it. So even if I go to the store and I pay more money than I want to pay, and if I find myself being like, man, look how expensive these groceries are, I'm like, hey, I'm grateful I have the money to buy it. You know, I'm grateful I was blessed with the abundance to pay $40 for one bag of groceries. And that kind of helps me to keep from just being down about it, you know? And then there's the other side of me that always kicks in, and I say this to myself. I don't say this to other people, but this is one of the things I say to myself. I'm always like, well, Tim, like if you need to make more money, figure out a way to make some more money. You know? And sometimes my brain goes, you're right. And other times I'm like, I'm good now. Like, you know what I mean? But like, I try to, my life, I feel more in control of my life when instead of looking at the negative of certain things, especially things that I don't totally have control over, if I put it back on me and what I do have control over. I can't control the price of groceries, but I could go out and make more money if I wanted to. So, you know, and I can control how I look at things, and I can control how grateful I am. And so if I put it back onto things that like I have control over, it doesn't seem as bad. Same scenario. I'm still paying $41 for one bag of groceries that would have cost 15 years ago, but it's not hitting me the same because I'm choosing to look at different things and focus on different things, you know? And it's just like, you just have to keep doing that until groceries come back down, you know? And once again, a lot easier for me, single man, no responsibility. I understand how hard it is when you got kids and you got responsibilities and you might already be on a tight budget and you don't have a ton of extra time. And you're doing good, and then like prices go up and suddenly you're like, dang. But I think there's always room for gratitude. And I think no matter what, getting our focus just off the negative, I'm powerless to do anything, and putting it on gratitude, and there are some areas I could do things if I wanted to, I think is always helpful. No, I haven't seen Obsession. A friend of mine said it was really good, but I haven't seen it, no. D Skizzle, thank you. Spinning, you're in rainy Vancouver, BC. About to go see an indoor football game, the BC Lions versus the Saskatchewan Roughriders. That is a long name. Saskatchewan Roughriders. That's a long name. You can't put that on a jersey. It's got to go in the front and the back. Let's go. Enjoy the game. Yeah. He didn't. And I was going to actually say that when I was talking earlier. He was young. He wasn't totally prepared. But once again, he was blessed to still be able to motivate millions. So at the end of the day, you know, maybe that was the path he was supposed to take. You know, he's moved on to his next existence, and we're still talking about him, and and he's still inspiring people. So, WSO. I've crossed the border 7 times already. So I've been to Mexico 4 times, Thailand 3 times, and Philippines once. So 8 times. Hey, see you later, Kathy. And thank you for the kind words. Thank you. Victory, I think it just kind of depends. When it comes to backpack, I'll say this. If you're not doing like crazy, if you're not doing crazy backpacking or hiking or, anything like that, I think just whatever backpack works. If you're just traveling, any quality backpack, I think will work. I think it's less about type and more about like what works for you. So, I don't think you have to, I got to get a hiking backpack or I got to get a travel bag. I think you just need to find a backpack that works for you. What kind of, slots does it have? How does it open? All that type of stuff, I think is more important than the type. Because once again, people just name backpacks certain things. This is a hiking bag. This is a trekking pack. You can decide what works for you. So I would think about, how do I want the bag to open? How many pockets do I want it to have? What else do I want on it? And find something that works for you. And a lot of that's trial and error too. I've had bags that I thought would be great and they weren't. I had a bag fall apart on me. I had to go backpack shopping. Like my last day or in Thailand. And I wasn't really feeling like the first time I went to Thailand, or was it the second? First time, I think. Yeah, first time. And I wasn't really feeling, I'd been staying, I think I'd been staying in Chiang Mai. Yeah. And I came back to Bangkok and I had like one day and I was just going to chill out in my hotel. And I wasn't trying to do nothing, and I had to go backpack shopping. Right. So I walked down to like this little market and I'm walking all the way around and I don't want to be there. Like I'm just walking and finally I found a backpack and then everybody wants to haggle and I'm like, bro, I don't want to haggle, but I don't want to pay too much. It was an ordeal. So I learned that backpack I had that fell apart on me, that wasn't for me. And honestly, even the one I bought then, I didn't keep that long because it just got me home. But, I have some other bag. Like now, if I find a bag or backpack that works, I'll keep buying the same one. I'll use that one for how many years it lasts, and then I'll buy another one. But yeah, I don't think there's a certain type you have to have. Just find what works for you. I haven't seen the Odyssey either, no. John, I've been trying to look into the women's flag football league. Honestly, I got so many other women's sports I watch that I think I saw something about the other day and I was like, I want to check up on that. But I haven't really kept up with it. Like I said, I don't even get to watch all the WNBA games anymore, so. Yeah, but Hobo, the bus was in Healy, Alaska, like in the town somewhere, I think. I don't know if it was out. It wasn't out in the woods anymore, I don't think. It was like in the town somewhere. And it had been there for years. And I think they finally just scrapped it, I think. But yeah, it wasn't out in the woods. No, it was I think it was in town somewhere. Felix, no, I'm in Montana. Queen, what up? CLU, haven't watched the news since May. Hey, you should watch it every day. See, I bet you're happier too. See, tell you. Telling people, try it. Tell people. They don't believe me. I said, just try it. Stop watching the news. And if your whole world falls apart because something on the world news you didn't see made bad things happen in your life, okay, go back to watching the news. But if that doesn't happen, check back in 3 months, and I guarantee your stress level will have gone down. I really don't know anybody. Actually, I know a couple people. Out of all the people I've said that to, who were like, yeah, I just kind of like watching the news, so I went back watching it. You know, everybody else is like, bro, like I'm not going back. You know, I'm not going back. Where do I usually leave my bags in between trains? Like if I'm on a train and I have to go to another train? Is that what you're asking, Victory? I just take it with me. I don't. Is that what you're asking? The book has a different ending than the movie? Oh, I didn't know that, Linda. Vegan, what up? Yeah, Felix. I mean, like once I realized, you know, my dad told me years ago, he's like, the news is slanted based on the same story on 2 different news networks will be different based on their agenda. And we know this definitely to be true now. Like different political parties watch different news networks. And the same story, they tell it 2 different ways. That's crazy. Like it's always kind of been like that, but like when I was growing up, it wasn't that obvious. It wasn't that blatant. Now it's blatant. And like, that's fine. Like, this doesn't bother anybody. The same news story, the organizations that are supposed to bring me this news, same story, told 2 totally different ways. And we're all fine with that. Oh yeah, that's just the way it is. Or usually like, well, that side's lying. Oh, stop. We're all adults here. That one side always lies about the news, and your news network is always tells the stop, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying. We gotta be grown-ups. I guess we don't have to be, but you know. You were saying between trains and Airbnb. I'm still not understanding what you're asking, Victory. My bags are always with me. Like I don't. If I get off the train and go to the Airbnb, my bag just goes with me. Maybe I'm missing what you're asking. Lucinda, how you doing? Exactly. Big, you know, we all got enough going on in our own everyday life that we can see, touch, taste, and feel. Like I don't need the news telling me about stuff that's happening on the other side of the world that has nothing to do with me. Or scaring me about like what possibly might happen. You know? No. Delmonico, about to sell your car, get out of debt. Nice. Might be on the streets for a bit, but I'll get out of the jam. Hey, let's go. I mean, that's the attitude to have. I'm doing what I got to do, get out of this debt. If I do get jammed up a little bit, we're going to get through that. On the back side of this, on the other side of this, we're going to be where we need to be. That's what it's about. I love the attitude. Spinning wheel, $3,000 in credit card debt, slowly paying down. Got them to freeze the interest. That's good. You got them to freeze the interest. Yeah, Iceman, I don't know why anybody believes politicians anymore. Like, I don't, respectfully, I don't know. Yeah, I'm just like, tell me the last time a politician really did anything. That's what I'm saying. Other than maybe cut us some checks if things got too bad. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Haley, glad to hear that. Oh, you're saying like in a given circumstance where I'm not checked into the Airbnb. Oh, well, this is where good planning comes in. So I try to never have a situation where, you know, if I come into town, I try to set it up to where I can go right to my Airbnb. If that's not possible, I try to make it, if it say my Airbnb is available at 3 and my train or plane or whatever gets in at 12, I'll just stay at the airport until, if it takes 30 minutes to get to the Airbnb, I'll just stay at the airport until 30 minutes before. Or, I just, yeah, I rarely have times where it's just going to be me and my luggage out roaming around. So I'll stay at the airport. I'll stay at the train station. Yeah, you're not going to catch me wandering unless it's like a city I know very well. But even then, yeah, you're not going to catch me roaming around cities with my luggage like that. Nah. I'll just wait. I'll just wait at the airport. I'll just wait at the train station. Sometimes like they'll have lockers. So sometimes you can find like a locker at the train station, the airport. You can put your stuff in it. Sometimes they'll just take it behind the counter. They'll have a storage area. You pay like $10 and they'll watch it. But if I don't do that, I'll just wait until it's time to check my Airbnb. But I try to set it up to where like as soon as I get in, I can go. Sometimes you can call the Airbnb host and they may say check-in is at 3, but if I look and I notice their Airbnb hasn't been booked a lot, it's probably already clean, So, if it's an Airbnb that looks like it get booked a lot, and I think, oh, there might have been someone in there recently, maybe it's not clean. But if nobody was booking that Airbnb all month, if you call and say, hey, do you mind if I check in 3 hours early? They're most likely going to say yes. Worst case scenario, they're like, yeah, for $10, But I try to plan so that I'm never out in the cold like that. Yeah. Spinning, yeah. It initially there was a time I would have never thought of giving up my comic books either. That was part of my identity. That was what I did. I loved them comic books. But the day came when I wanted to do something more than I wanted to have comic books, right? And I think that's what it boils down to. There's nothing wrong with being a collector. There's nothing wrong with loving your collections. And if you love it enough, you want to rent a storage unit, cool. It's your money. Do what you love with it. But like the day just came where there was something I wanted to do more. And I was like, I can keep these comic books and then also not be doing some of the stuff I need to do now, like go to the dentist because I don't have money, even though I got thousands of dollars in comic books. And also, if I get rid of them, that's one step closer to allowing me to travel, which is what I want to do now. So, it's just I think we go through different chapters in life and with different phases. And I just was transitioning to a different chapter. And in that chapter, I didn't care about the comic books as much as I did before in the previous chapter, So it still wasn't the easiest thing in the beginning, but once I start selling them and getting that money back, and once I decided I wanted to travel, it was, yeah, it wasn't that hard. What about my backpack? What I carried around Seattle? Um, so like when I come into town, I go to my Airbnb, I drop everything off. Now I personally have a backpack and a day pack. So my backpack and my suitcase and all my stuff stays wherever it stays. I have a day pack that if I'm going around, I take that with me. And so, yeah, if when I go out exploring, I bring my day pack and I bring like a bottle of water, and just whatever you might want to be out and about. Since I do YouTube, I might have, a camera, battery, just whatever stuff I use. But yeah, my travel backpack and my suitcase and all my stuff stays, in the Airbnb. The goal, especially in big cities, when I'm in big cities, the goal is to have as little on me as possible. Right? Yeah. Right? The goal is to have as little of my stuff on me as possible. So yeah, I'll just have a day pack and I just bring whatever I need for that day. But yeah, you'll learn traveling. You want to be out and about as little as possible with all your stuff, and that's not to say anything's going to happen, but like, tax refund pay for your trip to Japan. Nice spinning. Queen, you gave your whole collection of Barbies away. Okay, I respect that. Why would I live in California? You know, A is too expensive. I feel like I hear a lot about the taxes. There's parts of California, and I could, and this is from someone who's only been to California, what, like 5 times. So I've never been to a part of California that I was like, ooh, I could live here. It's like, it's cool. San Diego's cool. I don't think I want to live there. Like it's just not my type of state. I'm from Florida and I don't want to live in Florida anymore. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I know the places I like, and California is just not one of them. It's not political reasons or anything like that. It's just, different states are different, and like California just isn't the vibe I want, Yeah, there's lots of places I might go through and I'm just like, nah, nope. Let me take this off. Whew, getting hot in here. Design. I like San Diego. San Diego's a vibe. I wouldn't want to live there though. It's just not my, and it's hard to put it in. It's hard to put into words in a couple sentences. It's just not my vibe. For example, when I went to San Diego one time and I stayed like a month, and I stayed in this nice Airbnb. It was like an old like mansion, and they converted it into like rooms and Airbnb. Amazing experience. Right by Balboa Park. Oh, I loved it. It was amazing. There was no grocery stores anywhere around. They had like corner stores. They had like the little small store. Like there was no grocery stores. I had to go in the liquor store to buy my chicken wings. It was just set up different. It just not, I just, like I said, and I've been back. I'll probably go to San Diego again. I like San Diego. It's a great place to visit. I just wouldn't want to live there. Like, it's just not my vibe. I'm very big on vibes. Even the stuff people like about California isn't, I don't know. I just never been in Cali and been like, yeah. I've always been like, this is cool, till I get back home. That is true, Texas. Get dental work done much cheaper in other parts of the world. Yes, yes. Have I seen Cannon Beach, Oregon? I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think so. No, Iceman. I'm in Montana. I went to NYC when I was like 5, so I don't count that. When people ask me if I've been to New York, I typically say no because I don't count that. I kind of want to go back just it's New York, just to go for like a weekend, and then I'll be good. And I'd love to go with somebody. You know what I mean? Yeah, liquor store chicken wings was crazy. It was. It was. They was cool though. Like, and the wings wasn't even. You know what I mean? They was California wings. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, they was cool, but it wasn't, My vibe, Eric, is Colorado, Montana. Yeah, like states like that. That's why I keep coming back to them, Oh, Delmonico, you gonna catch a Greyhound to LA, Vegas, or Arizona? Okay, okay. Enjoy that Greyhound ride to LA. Make sure you have accommodations to get to quickly. As soon as you get to that LA Greyhound bus station, please. Vegas is a vibe. I'd live in Vegas before I live in California. Queenless, Sarasota, let's go. Liquor store chicken wings sound good, sound seasoned. They were seasoned. I don't know. They just wasn't. Yeah, I don't know. Some people probably love them. I have been to Idaho, Teddy. Yes. Not any length of time. I think I went down to Idaho Falls, a few years back for a day or two, which was a vibe. Drove through it. I think I was coming or going to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and I went through Idaho. But yeah, Idaho seems like a vibe. I see you, Lonely Sarah. How you doing? How you doing? Good to see you. Two Suitcase Timmy in the building. Yeah, Corey Cummins. Vegas is a vibe, man. Once you get past the strip, like the thing that for me in Vegas was the heat. Like in the summer, it's crazy hot. But yeah, Vegas is a vibe, man. It's got some really nice areas, really nice neighborhoods. Yeah, I like Vegas. It's actually when I was there 3 years ago, it still was affordable. People don't think it is because they think of like Vegas, gambly, all that other stuff. But like when you get outside of all that, Vegas is actually like, a lot cheaper than you'd imagine. Yeah. Oh, that's okay, Lonely Sarah. It's all good. It's the thought that counts. Thank you. I'll eat Wingstop, Iceman, but it's not up there on my list. I've been to Utah. Yeah. I've been to Utah. Utah's cool. Corey Cummins, thank you. Super Chat Squad, appreciate the love. Thank you. I like the trees. Let's go. I like the trees. Yes. How do you get to Grand Canyon without the car? I think you can fly into Flagstaff, simple, and then there's shuttles that'll take you from Flagstaff to the Grand Canyon. So yeah, you can make it work. Yeah, if you can get to one of the major airports in the area, they got shuttles because there's a lot of people who do that just to go on vacation. So yeah, I think you can fly into Flagstaff and they got shuttles that can get you there. Yeah. Exactly. See, design. I'm used to just walking down to the Safeway, the Winco. Yeah, I'm like, where's the grocery store? Because I didn't really do like the Airbnb I got was so cool and such a great price. I did a little research, but like I was like, bro, it was an amazing property. I think it was like $1,100 for the whole month, which is crazy, especially in San Diego. And like I said, it was right by Balboa Park. Y'all know me, I love nature. And I was like, I'd never been there before. I was like, this park is huge. And I looked at pictures. I was like, yes. So I did a little research, but I'm like, oh yeah, the grocery store might not be in this area, but there'll be one close. No. No. Spend so much money on DoorDash. They didn't seem very welcoming in Idaho. I'll be honest, in Idaho Falls, they didn't seem crazy welcoming, but I was only there like a day. I don't know. Shout out to Eric's mom. Yeah, Colorado's vibe, man. Colorado is yeah, I like Colorado. Yeah. I've never seen the snow in Flagstaff. Let's see. Do you think traveling? Victory, I do think, yes, that traveling, like you said, opens you up to more experiences. And I think that's never a bad thing in learning about yourself. I think travel just puts you in so many different, uncomfortable, unfamiliar surroundings, and you're always having things that come up that you weren't expecting. And I think there's a lot of growth in that. And, just the more you see and the more you learn and the more you know about yourself and other people. It's funny that the more you learn about other people, the more you learn about yourself and vice versa. But yeah, I think traveling, that's one of the beauties of it, is that it's going to expand your horizons like it has to. You know what I mean? It has to. So yeah, I think that's one of the beautiful things about it. Agent, what up? Have I been to Oklahoma? I'm sure I've been through Oklahoma on the Greyhound, but I don't think I've stopped in Oklahoma. What type of things came up unexpectedly while traveling? All kinds, all kinds of stuff. There's unexpected stuff on the train, on the plane. There's unexpected stuff with your Airbnb. I got this last time I was in Thailand. I went to Pattaya, and Okay. It was, and I had everything set up, and I took the bus from Bangkok to Pattaya. Um, took it was like $3. It was like a 2 hour drive, $3 for the bus. Loved it, loved it. Got recognized at the bus station. Let's go. Other side of the world, got recognized at the bus station. I'm him for real. Okay. And everything was coordinated. Boom, boom, boom. I get to the Airbnb, and it's like a hotel. It's like kind of a hotel, but they're renting the rooms out on Airbnb, which is smart. All the smart hotels are doing that. And it was like, go around. This is the door. Ring the doorbell. Somebody will come down, help you. What up, Raz? I get there, find the place, ring the doorbell. Nothing. Knock on the door, ring the doorbell, nothing. And there's a number, and then things like, hey, if you have any issues, call this number. Someone will be available to help you. I call the number, go straight to voicemail. And this went on for about 20 minutes. And like, there's a time I would have been freaking out. But I finally traveled around enough, and I'd been to Thailand enough that like I wasn't too worried about it. Like there were times I'd have been freaking out, but I just kind of like sat down and waited, and then eventually, like 20 minutes later, this lady just walked across the street, and she was like, and I'm like, and she was like, oh, okay, and she finally let me in. But just little stuff like that, like. Unfortunately, it wasn't a bad area, and there, what I mean. But like little stuff like that happens, like because then you have to start thinking, oh, what if these people never show up? Okay, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have to call, another Uber or Grab. I'm gonna have to call another Grab, and I'm gonna have to find, another hotel. Da, 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 da. It's just that you get put in situations where like you can't totally plan for it, but when it happens, you just have to like. But like I said, I wasn't freaking out because I was like, okay, I'll just have to get my money back for this one, and I'll just have to. All right, let me start. I was like, hey, if they don't come soon, I'm gonna find another hotel. Da, 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 it's just little stuff. But I mean, that's in it. Before you start traveling, you get nervous. Oh man, things might go wrong. But like in the moment, you just figure it out. And the more you do that, yeah, you don't really worry about it. Eric, thank you, Super Chat Squad, thank you so much. Says, hopes this goes towards your future wings. It will. They got wings down there at the Winco. I go get them. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate the love. Thank you. Hey, we also got Epic Mighty One X checking in. Thank you, Super Chat Squad. Thank you so much. Let me give you a like on that. Oh, wait, like it? Okay. Said, hey Tim, hope you are doing well. Taking January of 2027 off to plan my summer to work my first seasonal job. Yes, let's go. Any tips you got for me? Low-key scared and nervous. Epic, it's kind of hard to give overall broad tips. Definitely as you get deeper in your journey, and your planning, if anything comes up, please feel free to ask, and I'll answer best I can. Right now, I think you're doing great. Taking a month off, planning seasonal. I will say this, apply to all the seasonal jobs that you think might work for you. A lot of people put in like 2 applications. They say, nobody called me back. All the ones that seem like they might work for you, put in the app. And another thing I recommend is when you get the phone interview or the Zoom interview or whatever, ask questions. A lot of stuff that, and like, don't, a lot of times, like with housing and stuff like that, if you have a question, ask it. A lot of times they try to gloss over, oh, it's this. Nah, I need to know. What exactly does it look like? Will I have a roommate? Blah, blah, blah. Like, ask questions. Because you don't want to get out there and it not be what you want. So I would put in all the apps, take all the interviews, ask questions, and then just kind of, whatever one seems right for you, go for it. But yeah, do your research and, have fun with it. There's a lot of cool, awesome seasonal jobs out there, But like I said, as the time gets closer, please, reach out if you have any specific questions. People don't know themselves. You know yourself, you become an alien. Antoinette, how you doing? Praveen, good to see you. No, we've only been streaming 55 minutes, I think. Yeah. Okay, Sunflower. Got a call back from the first seasonal job you applied to. Couldn't believe the response was so quick. I tell you, they need people. They need people. Congratulations, by the way. Agent said, I get the most nervous about forgetting or losing my passport when traveling. Yeah, they say always have a copy of it. That's a little travel trick that I finally start taking advantage of. Just have a copy of it just in case. But I did one time and I don't know how. It was at I think the first time I went through the airport in South Korea. You put all your stuff in the bin. And this was before I got smart. So this is something that I was traveling for years before I realized this, right? When you empty your pockets, when you're going through TSA or wherever it's called, wherever you're going, when you're going through security, people empty their pockets and put it in the bin. No, empty your pockets and put it in your backpack or your suitcase. Like, I don't know why it took me 4 or 5 years, probably 4 years of travel to realize this. So now I empty my pockets out and I put everything in, like before I even get in line at TSA, I empty all my pockets out and I put everything in like one of the small pouches on my backpack. Now, like, and in this situation, you have to show like your passport and everything before you go through security. And then I put it in the bin. I was still being dumb. I was still dumb with travel at this time. So I put my passport in the bin. And then there was they had to look at something in my bag. And I got so flustered with that when they finally cleared my bag, I just grabbed my bag and was walking off. I left my passport in the bin, out the door, or up the airport. And fortunately, the lady stopped. I was like, hey. And I turned around. She was like, you need this. I'm like, oh. That's the closest I ever came thus far of like losing my passport. I just try to make a point of having that on me. Get you a nice, passport pouch, travel, whatever. They got tons of things you put your passport in. And I just recommend getting a nice one of those and just keeping it with you as much as possible, But yeah, that's the one thing, like that little trick of like, yeah, put all your stuff in your backpack, put the whole backpack up the thing, and then when you get it back, just take everything out, put it back in your pockets. Why would I put my keys and my watch and my wallet in that bin, and then it goes up ahead, and then when it comes out on the other side and I'm still back here, anybody can reach in and grab it, and you know what I mean? Nah, I don't do that no more. Hey, Lonely, you're welcome. I'm glad you're enjoying the live streams. Praveen, enjoying yourself? Okay. Agent having some Thai style chicken? Okay. Alfonso, how you doing? Your sci-fi book is ready? Okay. All right. I'm gonna tell you, I'm getting a copy. Like, for real. Wi-Fi on Amtrak is not very good, Victory. Simply because they go to a lot of places where like there's no signal. It depends on what route you're on too. But yeah, don't expect to have good Wi-Fi. Don't expect to have good cell signal either. So yeah, you might catch a route where it is. But yeah, a lot of times, yeah, you're going through, woods. Well, depending on what part of the country. East Coast, it might be different. But out west, yeah, man, there's whole stretches where there's no Wi-Fi and there's no cell signal. And you better have a book. Because, yeah, you ain't doing nothing on your tablet or your phones, Alfonso, feel free to let us know how to get the book, Hey, centered man, I ain't mad at that. Pivoted and went and took some work that was easier. Nothing wrong with that, and made you happier. Nothing wrong with that. The crazy thing is that most people would do the other thing and think it's normal. That's what's so crazy about society. That should be obvious. Someone's like, yeah, I was going to do this job for more money, but this one over here, I'm happier. You would think universally people would be like, well, obviously go do the happier job. But there's so many people like, man, you should have stayed with that money. I don't know. Like, it's just interesting. But I think more and more people are coming around. Oh, Raz, thank you. Thank you. Gregory checking in. Next Monday's already September. Yeah, man. What? 4 more months. Let's go. Till 2020. I think 2027 is going to be a good. 2027 just sounds like it's going to be a good year. 2027. 2027 sounds like it's going to be a good year. Okay. Victory, I feel like that's in your head. You know what I mean? Yeah, a lot of times, like when we have thoughts of like, oh, I just don't think this will be it's in our head, So that's the good news. The good news is it's in your head, so it doesn't mean it's true. It could be very easy to find a job. It's why wouldn't it be? So that's how I like to think about things. Like, it's just, if there's something I'm trying to do, and even if a part of me is like, oh, I don't know, that might be why, or I'm just like, well, I'll figure it out. If it's gonna take 1,000 attempts, well, I'm gonna have to attempt it 1,000 times, because that's what I'm doing. You know what I mean? It's a very interestingly clad woman walking around. Walking around. Most valuable comic book I owned was a Batman 26 from like the 30s. Your boy coughed, and it was in rough shape. That was the only way I could afford it. But still, a Batman 26 from like the 40s, like the original. If you know comic books, that ain't a cheap book. So that was my most valuable one. Yeah. And what was the other? I don't do favorites, so I can't say I had a favorite book, but that was my most valuable one. That's crazy, Agent. Dropped the stairs and said, "Run! Hey, let's go." Yeah, Gregory, happiness over money. Yeah, if you can get both, that's a possibility too. That's a possibility too. A lot of times we act like it's either or, but you're right. It's a possibility too. A lot of times, I found that when you prioritize happiness, the money comes along later. You pick a job, less pay for happiness, and then you look up 2 years later and you're making the same money. Since you're so happy at that job, you do really good, you get a promotion, you look up 2 years later, so man, I'm making the same money. So yeah. It's possible to have both. Hey, C. Lynn, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Glad you enjoyed that video. Yeah. Yeah. Just felt called to make that video. Like I said in the video, I love this content creation thing, but I know how hard it can be, and how discouraging it can be when things change. But yeah, I just want people to know, like, if this is your dream, the only way to get it is to get it. You know what I mean? Is to keep going and trying to get it. So, funny enough, people had issues with that video. 95% of people were appreciative. But you get that 5% that you make a video, try to encourage people, and there's some people who have a problem with it. So somebody literally tried to break down for me what I didn't understand about small YouTube creators. I deleted the comment. They posted it again. and put at the top, don't delete, just read in all caps. So I deleted the comment and blocked them this time because you're not finna tell me what to do. But I'll admit, I felt some type of way over that. Because I'm like, bro, I've been doing this for over a decade. I eat, sleep, and drink this YouTube thing, right? You don't even have a channel. and let me vent. Sorry, I got to vent real quick. You don't even have a channel. And you're going to try to break down like a 3-part comment of what I don't understand about small creators. When I spend my time talking to YouTube. But I'm glad you enjoyed. See, Lynn, thank you for that. Because that made me feel better that you got something out of it. You appreciated it. Because a couple people was tripping. But, you know, that's just how you know it's truth when people hear it and feel triggered to talk nonsense. Delmonico, long-term goal is to be a lawyer, taking the LSAT, scheduled to take it in September, but you're cheating on a homelessness, so I might have to push it back. Hey, hopefully, we teeter back away from homelessness. I'll definitely be putting up prayers for you. And I love the attitude of, that's my long-term goal, and that's what I'm going to do. I think that's when it comes to goal setting, I think sometimes it's good to be flexible. Different people say different things about goals, and I think some goals, it might be good. I think there's nothing wrong with setting a time period. I want to do it by this, but I also think there's some wisdom and flexibility. Because if it's like, hey, I'm doing everything I can do, and like it's not seeming like it's going to happen at this time, well, that doesn't mean it's not a good goal. That doesn't mean you need to be deterred. It might just not be time. You know, and I think there's some wisdom in setting goals like that as well. Of like, I want this to happen when it's time. I'm going to work very hard to try to get it done in this time period. But if that's not working out, well, then maybe that's not the right time period. I'm still going to do it. Trust. But if I have to push it back, that's probably a better time, you know? And I think sometimes when we set goals with specific dates, when it doesn't happen, we just get discouraged and stop completely. But, you know, getting a goal and just saying when it's time to, it'll be time to, takes a lot of the pressure off while still working at it. Now, you can't say when it's time to and not work at it. You still got to work at it. But, you know, and also I'm a big believer that sometimes, like if you look at goals you've achieved in hindsight, you'll notice like, oh, I had to do this and do that, then I could do this. And a lot of times we haven't done this and that and the other. So, you know, from our perspective, we're just like, oh, I'm gonna go do this. But from like a higher perspective, and I do believe that the universe, God, that which is, helps us out with our goals, there might be things we got to get taken through to get to that goal. And if we can't be taken through those things in 6 months, we may not be able to achieve that goal in 6 months. We can try, but we may not be able to. And that's why it's like, okay, we don't always have to get discouraged if we don't meet our deadlines. It might not be time, you know? So, yeah, good luck with that. Where am I in the chat? I feel like oh, here we go. Clip, I do not prep, no. Praveen out there sprinting at the YMCA track. What I find the most enjoyable things in life are at this stage and age of my life. I love hiking. I love watching the WNBA. I love talking with my friends. I love doing YouTube. I love sitting by water. Chicken wings, y'all know. Hey, Travis Connor, thank you. Super Chat Squad, thank you so much. Let me give you a like on that, Trav. Says, much love, Tim. Through hearing your message repeatedly over the past year, I've finally gotten over a lot of fear of things not working out. Act and then figure out when the path changes. That's part of the journey. Yes, exactly. Glad to hear that. Thank you so much for the love and the support. Thank you so much, Travis. And you're absolutely right. You know, and I think that is one of those life lessons that, like, if we can believe it and then put it into action, it opens up so much for us, right? Because for so long, a lot of times that's the only barrier is us not taking the first step. Because we're just like, man, and that's natural. In the world we live in today, where it's fear, doom, gloom, gloom, it's natural to just worry about everything that could go wrong. But like, yeah, once we start taking the steps and like things do go wrong and we figure it out, or nothing goes wrong, or the little piddly things that do go wrong, you're like, oh, I'll figure that out. Like, well, then it's like, oh, okay, next time. Oh, I can do that. It's a very powerful truth, So I'm glad my message and the videos and the live streams could play a small part in you, figuring that out. And that is awesome. That is awesome. And thank you, Travis. Thank you for the love. Love it. Yes. We're all smart enough to figure it out. I wouldn't, like I said, I think I'm done with housekeeping victory. I'm not opposed to shuttle driving again. It would just have to be the right situation. I don't want to drive like the big shuttles. I want to drive the buses. I'll drive like a van. And it would have to be like the right situation. I'm not opposed to that because I'm actually a really good driver. So I'm not opposed to that. Yeah. Hey, John, that's awesome. Quit your toxic job doing electric to work with my good friend doing HVAC. So happy, earning way more. Let's go. So, folks, you got to take a chance. Yes, let's go. Thank you for sharing that, John, and congratulations to you. Working with your friend, making better money. Or almost at 100 likes. Thank y'all. Spinning. Yeah, I get this comment all the time. I've literally been getting this comment since I've been on the internet saying this. People are like, but if everybody did what you said, the economy would fall apart. Yet, these same people typically go around talking about how bad the economy is. On the one hand, the economy is horrible. We complain about it all day long. On the other hand, we can't follow your advice, Tim, because then the economy will fall apart. So do you or do you not like this economy? A, do you or do you not want this economy to be fixed? Newsflash, sidebar, the economy is going to have to fall apart eventually anyway for it to be fixed. There's that. Secondly, never in human history, has everybody ever done the same thing. So it is one of the craziest statements ever to be like, if everybody did that, this would happen. If everybody did anything, crazy stuff would happen. That's like saying, I want to open up a grocery store. And you'd be like, if everybody came and shopped at your grocery store, then all the other grocery stores would go out of business. That's horrible. You know what I mean? It's just, and not coming at you, Spinning, but it's just one of those hypothetical statements that people say that makes absolutely no sense. Everybody is not going to take my advice. And even if they did, so what? Once again, as humans, we adapt. If everybody did, for some reason, take my advice and the economy fell apart, we would adapt. As we always know. Alfonso, thank you. Super Chat Squad. Let me give you a like on that. Yep, there it is. Thanks for letting me share my sci-fi book with the community. Mimus Prime, The Listening World is the book title. It contains abundant themes. Okay, Mimus Prime, The Listening World. I wish I had a pen in here. I'm going to remember that. Mimus Prime, The Listening World. Mimus Prime, The Listening World. Boom. Go check out Alfonso's book if you like sci-fi with abundant themes. Now I'm intrigued. And you're welcome, Alfonso. Yeah, go check that out, everybody, if you want an abundant themed sci-fi book. I like that. I'm intrigued. Mimus Prime. Okay. I got you. I want to see this. I need me a copy of that. Have to get that signed one day. And when it goes to movie, I'm trying to be in it. When it goes to movie, I want an extra spot. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm way behind in the chat. Oh, what? Oh, here we go. Okay. Encoded. Exactly. It's always the people who don't do in life who have something to say. I just, yeah, it's funny. The internet is one place where like everyone feels like they're an expert on it, even if they haven't done it, or even if they've done it, even if they haven't done it at the level you've done it, people feel like they're an expert. People don't do that, or maybe they feel that way, but they don't walk up to you. If you have a plumbing business, people don't walk up to you and tell you how to plumb. Hey, maybe they do, but not like on the internet. Like, yeah, people would be like, yeah, like you get on the internet, people think it's just so crazy. On the one hand, like people just think it's like so easy, but then they think they got some kind of secret formula. I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know, but it's all good. T Black, what up? What up? What up? Burning up in Vegas, 107. Oof, 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 oof. Hey, Delmonico, definitely gonna be putting up some prayers for you to get the car sold. Get some cash on hand so you can be eating right. Definitely. Victor, you on Cool Works right now? Yeah, sometimes I feel like a lot of the good jobs get snatched up. Either they have returners or they get snatched up quick. Gregory says, planning to quit my job and go venturing in October. Life happened, plans didn't change, but timeline had to shift. Gotcha. Got to keep my job for a while yet. Not discouraged though, not one bit. Let's go. Praveen, I don't have a Netflix account, period. So no. The reason I'm not prepping, is there a psychological reason you just don't think there will be any possible catastrophic events in your lifetime? I'm not worried enough about them to prep. If I'm being honest, Clip. Yeah, it's not a psychological. I'm just not worried enough. I look at it this way: if there's a catastrophic event, and it requires me having a basement full of canned goods to survive, I'm not the only person who's gonna be struggling. So I'm gonna be down there with everybody else at the soup kitchen, begging for food. And here's the thing too. When I used to watch Doomsday Preppers way back in the day, people would prep for a certain catastrophe. And I was always like, well, what if it's another one? Like you're prepping for earthquakes or wildfires. What if it's an ice age? You know what I mean? So like that was my thing too, is like, what if you get it wrong? You spend all this time and energy and effort prepping for something, and then it's something else. I'm just not that worried about it. I've always said I love this life, and I intend to live it as long as I'm allowed to live it and enjoy it as much as possible. I'm not married to it though. So if a nuclear winter comes through and I'm slated to die, I'm not gonna be like, dang, if only I'd prepped for apocalypse. Like I just don't care. Respectfully. Like and I respect people who do. If that's your thing and you're like, hey, I'm gonna be cool. You'll probably be laughing at me from the bunker as I slowly pass away. I personally just don't care. Like it's just not that deep to me. Like, but then I don't care about much. Yeah. But yeah, at the end of the day, I'm just not married enough to this life to spend my whole life. And once again, I just feel like for me, that's a little too negative a mindset to spend so much time and energy worrying about something negative happening. I focus on like the positive. Yeah, challenges are how you grow. Yeah, Gregory, that's the thing too. Like you said, like it ain't it don't action, and people who are willing to take action and take risk do better than smart people. A lot of times the smarts or the intelligence is actually a bigger hindrance because you can think of more things that might go wrong. That's why they say ignorance is bliss. Because people are like, oh, I don't know. But like if you intelligent, you're like, well, this could happen, this, it holds you up. Other people who just do, they get way further ahead. Because they have like practical knowledge now. I tried this 10 times, and these are all the things that won't work. This 11th time it works. where somebody else is still sitting there trying to get the nerve or whatever it is to do it the first time. So yeah, sometimes intelligence is a hindrance, you know. Praveen, thank you. Super Chat Squad, thank you so much. Said always energize and feel better after your live stream. Yes. Thanks for all you do to grow and maintain your channel. I'm looking forward to content creation as well. Let's go, Praveen. I'm waiting, Praveen. I'm waiting for the Praveen Senior channel. You know, thank you for the love. Appreciate that. And I'm glad the live streams have a positive effect on you. That's why we do them. And they have one on me too. So thank you for always being a part of them. Thank you. Super Chat Squad. Lonely Sarah, you are crazy. You are crazy. I love it though. I mean that with utmost love. I'm at a family gathering and I'm blasting Timothy Ward loud. I don't care what anyone says. They all gonna listen. And subscribe. No, that's it. You're funny. You're funny. You're funny. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Oh, Kaylee W. Chu. Okay, Alfonso, I gotta look into that. Okay. Thank you. I need all kinds of references. I have no clue how we're gonna do this paid speaking thing. We're gonna figure it out. I wish I had my other phone on me because I could be putting this stuff in. I should have brought it. Exactly, agent. What do we really got to lose? Yeah, I guess that is true, T Black. If nuclear holocaust happened, ain't nobody living. Penelope, hello. Okay, agent. Got a good idea for something useful. Learning C++ using AI. Okay. Empty, what up? Left work in the pouring rain. All right. Saw some lightning, decided to get a run in. What? I told you I can't go nowhere. People roll up on me. I literally saw, like, the other day, I didn't see, like, I saw what had to have been a lightning strike. I didn't see where it hit, but like it came down far enough. It had to hit somewhere. I was like, ooh. Zoo, what up? Yeah, Queen. Yeah. You would think the fact that we all know we're going to die would make us a lot more adventurous and take more risks, but we don't. I don't know. I'm just like, the one thing we're scared of losing, we're all going to lose one day. Sammy at the Panda Express watching live. Okay. Down there at the Panda Express. Getting a little American Chinese food, or what is it? American Asian food? I don't know. Hey, we hit 100 likes. Thank y'all. Panda Express to me is kind of like Wingstop. Like, I'll eat it, but it ain't my go-to. Wingstop ain't my go-to for wings. B-dubs, I'll eat it in a pinch. You know, I'll eat Panda Express in a pinch. If pushed, I'll eat Panda. But it's not my go-to. But enjoy. Now that I've talked so much crap about it, enjoy your Panda Express. I eat Panda Express a lot at the airport. I'll tear some Panda up at the airport. Panda at the port, I'll tear some. Ooh, get off that plane. You got like a 3-hour layover. Ooh. There's a. What is the name of that? What airport is that? What airport is that? Salt Lake. Is it Salt Lake City? There's an airport. I think it might be Salt Lake City, but it has a Asian restaurant I love. And whenever like I'm there and I'm like, oh, this is the airport. Oh, I eat it up. Have a nice 3-hour layover. Eat you some nice food. Take you a nice dump ski McGee. Sit there and people watch. Oh. Oh, Gregory, thank you. Super Chat Squad, thank you so much. Thank you. Coming through with the Canadian cash. That's more than dollars. I keep telling y'all. Got to learn your currency conversions. 4x. Okay. Oh, Gregory, thank you. Super Chat Squad, thank you so much. I said, if you have an idea, a dream, or even just curiosity, don't waste your time learning about it secondhand. Just start doing. You'll learn way faster and have knowledge coupled with experience. Can't lose. Let's go. That's wisdom right there. Let me read that again. I like that. If you have an idea, a dream, or even just a curiosity, don't waste your time learning about it secondhand. I.e., don't watch a ton of videos and listen to podcasts and just get out there and start doing it. You'll learn way faster and have knowledge coupled with experience. Can't lose. Yeah, I think, and I know I've been guilty of this so many times, where like hearing other people talk about it, I feel like I'm working on it. But at the end of the day, the only way to actually work on it is to do it. And I know there's things that I've researched and looked into and never did it. That don't count. So yeah, just jump out there and do it. Let's go. Thank you, Gregory. I appreciate the love. Thank you. Super Chat Squad, the building. Penelope said, as a Chinese person, panda is no bueno in no situation. Respect. Hey. I ain't mad at that. Oh, I love the Chinese buffet. The Chinese buffet, you get you a nice one. Cheap, especially if it's cheap, you go in there and pig out. Here's my problem though. I have a very small stomach, right? Well, not very small, but like I'm good for about a plate and a half, and then like I'm full. Though 30 minutes from now, I could eat another plate and a half, or another plate. So buffets always bother me because like, yeah, I'll be like, man, I'm hungry. I'm going there and pig out. I eat a plate and a half and I'm done. And then an hour later, I'm hungry again. So I learned to do the takeout. If you find the right buffet, especially like the right Chinese buffet, and they got a good takeout box, and they let you pack that mug. Some of them be stingy. The lid has to close. I like going to the Chinese buffet where like they don't, as long as it fits in the box, they don't care. You pay your, $12.99 lunch special, long as it's in the box, sir. You can walk out the door with it. You do that, that's about 2-3 meals. I like that. I haven't had one of those in a while. I gotta find a Chinese buffet. Take messy action, then get adjusted feedback to grow yourself. True. I like that messy action. That action messy. I've been taking messy action all morning. Oh, that sounds crazy. How you doing? Just take a little messy action. That actually was messy. I like that. Oh man, I'm sorry. I get y'all. I'm a child. I get giggly over stupid stuff, but I love it. You gotta love life. And this Lipton's lemonade iced tea might have something to do with it too. Yeah, those are the best Chinese restaurants. Like, and I've said this, I'll say it again. Pretty universally, except for the one in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I don't know what it is about your boy. They love me down there to the Chinese restaurant. It probably helps that I'm friendly and I'm nice and I tip, but I'm telling you, they love me down there to the Chinese restaurant, especially the women. I'm just saying. The one here in town, they know me. And it probably helps that I order the same. This is what it really is. I pretty much order the same thing every time. Everybody likes familiarity. Everybody so it's like, okay, we know who this person is. But yeah, I find a Chinese restaurant. They know me within like a month. There you go. They have vegan Chinese restaurant in Jersey? Okay. I am. How's it going? Good to see you. Even messy action is better than no action. Facts. Uh, I believe I said that many a night coming home from the bar, uh, or the next morning. They like, Tim, we saw what you left with. I'm like, hey, messy action. This is totally different type of action. It's still true. The saying holds up. Albeit chasing, be it chasing your dreams in life or trying to get your numbers up in them streets. Messy action beats no action. That's not the gutter though. That's not the gutter though, Victoria. That's real life. You ever thought about that? You ever thought about that? Like that's just like we'll say in the gutter. Like we're taught to put like a net. Like everybody has sex. It's a natural part of life. That's how life continues, right? But we're taught to think that's gutterish. Mainly by organized religion. But have you ever thought it? Like little stuff like that, once you see it, it's like, wait a second. That's the saying we all say. I say it to people too. Get your mind out the gutter. I'll even say it. I'm in the gutter. But like when you think about it, why is talking about sex in the gutter? It's a natural thing. It's a beautiful thing when it's done correctly. So I'm told. But you know what I mean? Like it's just funny. It's just funny. I don't know. I think about these things. It's all programming. It's all programming. I just sit back and I see things that like we all universally like say or do, and then I ask myself, does it make sense? And I'll be like, wait a second, why do we do that? Oh, because they told us to do that. Then I'm like, why did they tell us to do that? As far as organized religion goes, if you can get people to think that something that like everybody does is a sin, unless they do it in the manner you want them to do it, then everybody, and then you get them to think that you're the only way to get their sins absolved. If you get everybody to think that the one thing that's on like everybody's minds as a human is a sin, unless they do it in one specific way, and then you say, hey, you got to come to my building and join my organization to fight that sin, then everybody's, you know what I mean? That's how you grow your numbers. That's how you grow your numbers. Because everybody's going to feel like they're sinning. Because you pick something that everybody does. That'd be like them be like, hey, if you breathe, you're a sinner. You know what I mean? You got to think about this stuff. I don't know. I do. Well, you don't have to. I think about it for you. Chat got quiet. It's getting deep. Victory. Yeah, first off, congratulations on the 2 years of sobriety. Here's the thing. You said you're getting your first big urge because of traveling, wanting to be more extroverted on the train. You might get on the train and not even think about drinking. That's what happens a lot. Beforehand, we think, oh, in this situation, I'm going to want to do this. And then the situation comes, and you might be like, why would I drink? It's been 2 years sober. Why am I going to drink? You might get on the train, there's nobody to talk to. You might get on the train and be like, I'm keeping to myself because I don't want to talk to none of these people. Or you might get on the train and just somebody said, like, I've had this happen so many times. And I don't want to be extroverted on the train. No. But I've sat down by people and like, you know, they'll just be like, they'll ask one question, you ask another question, and then you're talking. No need to get a beer together or nothing like that. Like, you know, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. I feel like that's another one of those things that it gets in our head, even though there's nothing saying that has to be the case. And most likely you'll get on the train and not even worry about it. Or you'll get on the train and be like, excuse me, I could have a beer. And then you'll be like, nah, I'm good. Greg said, I've done it correctly, I've done it incorrectly. Both are fun. Correctly is far better. Hey, you know, you got to do it incorrectly to figure out how to do it correctly. Your mom used to tell you that people weren't kissing on TV. Yeah, Praveen, that's But that the whole Garden of Eden story is something that organized religion told you. So if you say, "Oh, it started then," but that's just, once again, that's proving my point of like, that's where we learned this. That's the, oh, they had something. I don't want to get into it, but that's, yeah, that kind of proves the point, you know. Linda, the food in Montana is okay. I'm not really a foodie, so like, you know, I wouldn't be the person to ask really, but I'm, you know, they got a Winco Foods here, so I'm good. Yeah, now that victory, I would be that's the thing I'd be thinking more about. What am I gonna do when that Wi-Fi and that Siggy goes down? That's what I wouldn't worry about drinking. You got 2 years sober. I wouldn't worry about that. Yeah, you got to find something to do. You know, I stare out the window. I don't even, most of the time, like, even when there is a signal, like, I only care about the signal because, like, a lot of times I want to see where we're at, stuff like that. And there are sometimes I'll be like, oh, I wouldn't mind listening to some music, you know. But most of the time I'm just staring out the window. Like, and I know I'm weird. But yeah, I mean, there's always, except at night and when you're going through tunnels. Yeah, there's always something to see out the window. I just stare out the window, like, or yeah, you can get them, go to the observation car, and Angela, how you doing? Or you can get them, go to the observation car and talk to people. Like, you, like if you've been 2 years sober, I'm sure you've already had times where like you met people and just started talking. So why would it be any different on the train? You know. Hey, what up, Delando? Hey, I just now found a spot in town where I can stream from the car. So, yeah, I'm happy about that. Drew checking in, taking advantage of this beautiful Wisconsin weather today, mowing the lawn. Let's go. Hey, the cherry on top live stream. Yes. Awesome. Good. Have fun. Iceman, I have had In-N-Out Burger. I'll be honest, I don't see what the thrill is. I have to say this though, In-N-Out Burger has some of the best promo. Cause when I was driving the shuttle bus for the YMCA of the Rockies, so many of the international students who came to work there, if you ever want to see young people get giddy, you ever want to see a group of 18 through 21-year-olds get giddy, drive past an In-N-Out Burger. They were losing their minds. Like, it got to the point where like I knew when we passed an In-N-Out Burger because the whole van been quiet for about an hour, and we start to pull wherever we're going, and everybody starts pulling their phones. I'm like, what is going on? And they're like, hey Tim, can we go by In-N-Out Burger when we leave the mall or wherever we're going? And I'm like, y'all that excited about In-N-Out Burger? But yeah, it must have some really good marketing outside the country because they always want In-N-Out Burger. And you know, they would buy it for me sometimes, which is really cool. And it was good, but I never, like, it wasn't like, ooh, like I've had a better burger, you know, I've had a worse burger, you know, but I don't know. It just struck me as a burger place. Maybe I didn't get the right burger, you know. Whataburger is better. Whataburger. Yeah, give me some burgers from scratch. Well, maybe not vegan burgers, but I would try a vegan burger. Bro, my nature, how you doing? 100 degrees in Buena Park, California. Oh, ooh, yeah, I need some rains. Five Guys, oof, oof. I just always heard Five Guys was greasy. You get the Five Guys farts. They're wet farts. Get the LBJs, that loose booty juice, eating that Five Guys. That's just what I heard. People going crazy for Buc-ee's. I've never been to Buc-ee's. We actually had a trip planned to a Buc-ee's, and I didn't. Something came up, we couldn't go. But I've never been to a Buc-ee's. It seemed. I want to go for the experience, but I don't know if I would be blown away. Fat Burger? Is that a real place? Yeah, I'm with you, Agent. I rarely, like I said, a few months back, I was eating Wendy's, and that was probably a mistake, but I rarely eat McDonald's. If I go through McDonald's, I'm getting a coffee. How about I went through the line at McDonald's a while back, 2 3 months ago, and I was, like I said, I'm going to get coffee. So I'm like, could I get a large black coffee with 4 sugars? And she was like, what? And I was like, a large black coffee. And she was like, what? I was like, can I get a large black coffee? And she was like, I don't think we have that. So I'm guessing, like, I don't know. Maybe she never heard anybody call it like a black coffee, so she didn't know what I was talking about. But and you know me, I was like, whatever. I just left. But I'm like, how do y'all not have coffee? So I should have just said a large coffee, no cream. But I've learned, like, at certain places, especially McDonald's, other fast food places, you have to say black coffee and then add what you want. Because if you don't say black coffee, they gon' put creamer in it, and I can't stand creamer. So I've learned off the jump to be like, black coffee with just sugars, so they know, oh, he don't want creamer. But apparently they didn't have it at that Mickey D's. In-N-Out has the best burger, says Felix. Okay, all right. Culver's is there. I've had Culver's. Queen, you haven't had meat since 2006? Okay, 20 years. Respect that. Yeah, you don't need that, Praveen. Boss is yelling and screaming in your face. You have them change their gloves when they make your fries? Oh, I bet they love to see you coming, Queen. They love to see you coming. Can you change? Can you change your gloves before you can? This is why everybody loves vegans. I'm messing with you, but this is why everybody loves vegans. Can you can you change your gloves when you put my fries in there? Because I'm a vegan. They're like, here we go, here we go, 3 times a day. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I mean, hey, you know, I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. I respect it, but I totally could understand them in the back, like, here we go. Come on, that doesn't sound very Karen. That sounds very Karen. I respect it. I ain't mad at you. But that's, can you, like, if you explain it, I'd be like, okay. So yeah, I'm vegan. I don't want cross contamination. I'd be like, cool. But if so, it's just like, hey, can you change your gloves before you give me the fries? I'd be like, what? Yeah. I'll be right back. I gotta go get some new gloves off the back. Nah, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do it. Am I driving an Asian car? No. Llama is probably because I'm doing a live stream, so the camera could be flipped. Actually, no, it's not. The steering wheel isn't on the wrong side. The steering wheel, or maybe it looks that way. I don't know. It's not an Asian car. No. Oh, that's why you don't do it much. Oh, okay. Respect that. Can y'all make a new thing of grease? Open a new batch of fries and change your gloves before you do any of that? Because I'm not trying to get none of that burger juice up on my stuff. That probably helps, Queen. Yeah, if you have a sweet voice, sweet voice, attractive, any of that stuff helps. Any of that stuff helps. Y'all know me. I have no problem with pretty privilege. Praveen, thank you. Super Chat Squad, thank you. Let me give you a like on that. So you're amazing, Tim, enjoying the stream tonight. That's awesome. Glad you're enjoying it, and I appreciate you being here as always, coming through and showing love. So thank you, and I appreciate the kind words. Thank you, Super Chat Squad. Let's go. Can y'all scrub the fryer down? Well, actually, let me just come back there and get my own. That they'd probably be like, okay. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go to Taco Bell. Obviously, this is a joke because I'm not going to Taco Bell. I'm gonna go to Taco Bell and be like, hey, Can y'all change y'all's gloves before y'all make my burrito supremes? Fat Burger has a real burger? Oh, okay, okay. That's true, Agent. Yeah, yeah, and I think that's true for like life in general. Like, if people are nice, um, and I've learned this too when it comes to like managing. When people are nice and they explain, we're a lot more likely to do things. When people aren't nice and they don't explain, then a lot of times, because like if we're just like, why, you know, and I think that's what happens in like companies a lot. Someone will just say do this, and no one says why, and especially if it's something we really don't want to do, you know, it's like, but like if people explain, but yeah, like if you're at work and someone asks you, hey, nicely, excuse me, could you do so and so, so and so, for this reason? People usually, oh, okay, cool. You know, like we like doing stuff for other people. Like we like doing stuff for other people. It feels good to do stuff for other people. So like any chance we get to do it, you know, if it's presented in the right manner, most of the time people are gonna, you know, not mind helping you out. Unless they're just like having a bad day or they're just, you know, the type of person who isn't like that, you know. Karen, how you doing? I have not ever worked in fast food. I want to though. I keep saying, even at 46 years old, I keep saying I'm gonna work at Taco Bell one day. Yeah, I've heard it's no joke. You know, people always say, "Oh, you can just go work fast food," and anyone's ever done it is like, bro. Yeah, any boss or manager who tries to rule through fear is insane. Like that's crazy. But once again, a lot of them are just doing what they always saw, or they're just that type of person. But a lot of times they're just doing. That's the only management style they've ever seen. So they think that's what works. Yeah, Angela, you said you'll help somebody who asks nicely instead of demanding. Yeah, yeah, yeah. When people demand, then that's the surest way to not get your way is to demand something. Like, who are you? Like what? A kid screamed right in your ear when you. Dang, that's crazy, Praveen. You love to oof. You can't hit a kid, but his parents might have got these hands. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. Yeah, I am. I'm sure that goes on a lot in restaurants. So you know, if people are like that, you know, I try not to think about it. People are like, you eat out a lot. You're not worried about people messing with your food, or like when I do Uber Eats a lot, people are like, you're not worried about people messing with your food. I am, but like, I try to think about it. You know how ridiculous job application questions are. Yeah, 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 yeah. As I say, yeah, work is so weird. You know, job application questions, job interview questions. A lot of times, I was like, I like the best job interviews I have is where we just talk. You know, get a feel for me. I get a feel for you. Will it be a good fit? You know, you can work in some questions, but like when people have a standard form and they just go down and ask you these crazy, I'm like if I see that happen, like I already know I don't want to work for you. If I go in for a job interview and you got these standard questions and you're reading them, tell me about a time when you had a thing. Now I know some people are like required to do that, and if you do that and then afterwards we talk, cool. But people, that's the whole interview. Tell me about a time. I already no. It's a no. I already know it's a no. And a lot of times, like I'll be the first in interview to be like, hey, I don't want to waste your time. I don't think this is a good fit for me. 10 minutes into the interview, 5 minutes into the interview, especially like a phone interview, I'll just be like, hey, real quick, I don't want to waste your time. I don't think this is the right fit for me. So thank you for the call, but I'm good. I've asked seasonal jobs about like the housing at like the beginning of the interview, or they brought it up and I asked some questions, and I right then be like, hey, honestly, that's not going to work for me. So I don't want to waste your time. I'll let you call the next person. I'm good. They'd be like, what? I'm like, that housing not going to work for me. And some of the smart ones are like, all right, appreciate you letting me know. Some of them be like, well, what about? I'm like, no. I got no problem hopping out of an interview. Hey, see you later, agent. Yeah, Queen, you have to, you got to treat people with respect. I don't understand how people don't realize that. Well, actually, I do, but it's sad people don't realize that. Thank you, Angela, for asking people to hit the like button. Catching on late. I don't have any plans currently to go to another seasonal job. Not saying I wouldn't. If the right opportunity came up and I felt like it was something I wanted to do or needed to do, but I currently don't have any plans to go to another seasonal job. See you later, Gregory. Enjoy the Odyssey movie. Hey, you stay abundant and beautiful as well. Thank you. Yeah, that's the thing, Queen. Be respectful, but don't take no crap. And a lot of times, even like if somebody try to give you crap, you might even throw in a respectfully as you checking them. Respectfully, you're not gonna talk to me like that. You know what I mean? So like even when you checking them, you're showing a level of respect that may not be warranted. But hey, I'm just letting them know I'm always gonna show respect. But you're not gonna come and be crazy. Awesome that your parents taught you that, Praveen. Victory, I agree with you about the references. That's why, like, I think you should ask people. Before you put somebody down as a reference, ask them or call them and tell them. But preferably ask them. Hey, can I put you down as a reference? Because yeah, that is crazy. If this is somebody I'm really close to, well, actually, the people I'm really close to, they'll tell me. But yeah, that'd be kind of crazy if I just got a call out the blue and they're like, so and so used you as a reference. I'm like, why they couldn't tell me? So yeah, like if you're gonna use somebody as a reference, I would ask them first. Because yeah, they might not want their number out there like that, or their email. I never put down the real email address. I think I had one job where they were like, we have to have a correct email address. Usually I just put on a fake email address. If they email them and they don't respond, well, call them, right? I think I had one job. It was like, we need a real email address. We have to email. So I had to like call somebody and say, hey, can I get your email address? Because I need you to, blah, blah. It was stupid. But I think it was, I think it was like I already had the job, but they had to like go through the email reference and they had to have references email back and put it in my file. So I went through it. Have you ever walked out of a job for disrespect? I'm sure I have. Yeah, I'm sure I have. Or just not being treated fairly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Your manager yells at you in front of customers? Ooh, oh. That's no bueno, Linda. Yeah, I'm if it ain't the right situation, y'all know me. I from working seasonally so much, you just kind of have a mindset of like every job ends, and I just try to set my finances up in a way. And from having quit so many jobs before, so like if it comes down that it's time to go, it's time to go. Like we'll figure it out. Like I'm not taking any type of disrespect or anything like that. And I understand everybody doesn't have that luxury. Sometimes you got to deal with it for a little while before you can get out that situation. But yeah, I don't do the, I two things. Don't yell at me and don't curse at me, because my mama don't curse at me. My daddy don't curse at me. My mom and my daddy don't yell at me, and they could if they wanted to, because they're my parents. They don't. So ain't nobody else on this planet, I promise you, gonna yell or curse at me. No. But once again, I can say that because I can walk out the door pretty much anytime I want. But yeah, nah. If my parents who raised me and have the right don't parent that way, don't treat me that way, You're not going to. No, no. And if you think your position or your status is gonna make me take it, you are sorely mistaken. Not with the kid, not with Uncle. Like, you know what I mean? Nah. But ask somebody before you do it. Ask somebody who knows me. They'll be like, nah, Tim ain't the one. Tom said, I've walked out of a spot 4 times at least. Let's go. They was making things up about you, Tom? Yeah, you got to go. Tom got a new job offer in 10 days. Yeah, man. You know, like, it's once you realize, like, hey, if I gotta get up out of the situation, something, especially when you're doing it for the right reason. You're not quitting because you got hung over and you don't want to go to work, so you quit. Now you're quitting because they come at you crazy. You know, I feel like there's good energy going towards you finding the next job or whatever your next, whatever you choose to do next, simply because like you're doing the right thing. We're not supposed to be disrespected. The fact that like people think that's normal. Oh, that's work. No, we're not supposed to be disrespected. We're supposed to be treated with respect. So if I have to leave a situation because of that, I think I got some good karma behind me. I think I got some good energy, you know? And yeah, if I feel like it's this person just doesn't know any better and I feel like addressing it, but yeah, a lot of nah. Some stuff I'm just like, nah, I'm out. Nope. And good luck finding another job, Linda. I know that situation can't be easy. So good luck finding another job, or maybe the regional manager will do something about it. Carl, let's do something about it. Sheila, let's do something about it. Regional managers, huh? District managers. Yeah, crappy managers suck. Yeah, I am. When people say these, nobody wants to work. I'll say this. I think you have to, depending on the situation. Because I'll say here, nobody wants to work. Now I'll add like, and I understand why. My issue when I say nobody wants to work is when people take the job and they don't want to work. If you just like, nah, I'm not doing it, I'm gonna chill at the house, cool. And you figure out a way to pay your bills and eat and live, cool. But when I'm like nobody wants to work is when people like take the job and don't want to work. Or people like get hired and never show up. Stuff like that, I'm like, I don't know, you know? But it is weird to me the position work is in these days. But I totally understand anyone being like, I'm not doing it. I got no problem with that. It's just if you say I'm gonna come to work and I'm gonna take the check, well then you need to do the job. And yeah, if I'm gonna come to work and work my J Boutte off and still be broke, I understand why a lot of people's like, well, I'll just sit at the house, figure out how to get some kind of check from the government. Because I'm not gonna kill myself at this job, make them all this money, and I go home with peanuts. And I'm stressed out all day long because I can't pay my bills. And y'all working me to death. Actually, y'all working me even harder. Y'all was working me to death before, then you fired half the people because you thought AI was going to take up the slack, and it didn't. So now I'm doing the work of 3 people and making the money of half a person. People like, nah. That's why I say I think this situation has to correct itself eventually because it's just getting too crazy. It's just getting too far out of whack. Like I've never seen work this crazy, and I've never seen as many people like, yeah, just I've never, and I know they're like, oh, there's no jobs, but there are in certain areas and certain fields, there's never been more vacancies, you know, which is like in hospitality, These hotels can't find good workers. And that's the thing too. Like, even when they find workers, they can't find good workers. Where the good workers go? So yeah, it's just I don't know. It's a weird time, but I think all this is leading up to a change in work, a sorely needed change. Yeah, we'll see about AI's future. I don't. It's gonna do what it's gonna do. We'll see. I don't know. And yeah, I think as humans, we like work. We like to have something to do. It's just the way work is now. We don't like that because it's a situation where, like, we don't thrive. So don't be mad at us. You know what I mean? If work sucks and we don't want to show up, don't be mad at us. There's a huge nurse shortage in Australia. I can believe that. I can believe that. I'm surprised there's not a huge nurse shortage everywhere. You know. Yeah, Russell. Someone's like, if you don't like it, you can just quit. All right. If I got a valid reason for not liking it, all right. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna jump off. We've been going for about 2 hours. I want to jump off. A couple things I want to do down there to the mall, and I think it closes at like 6:30. So I'm gonna jump off. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I'm kind of glad we left it like in the middle of like really cooking, so we'll be excited to cook again when we stream again. Thank you so much for being part of the stream. Big shout out to Angela, world's best moderator. Big shout out to the super chat squad. Thank y'all. I appreciate the support. Donation to the Freedom Fund. I love y'all. Thank y'all everybody who tuned in, the lurkers, the OGs, everybody. Praveen coming through one last time. Thank you, Praveen, super chat squad. Thank you. Thank y'all so much. Prayers for everybody who said we are going to say prayers for. I appreciate y'all being part of this community, part of the stream. Love y'all.